welcome to The Red Menace. We're a comedy news podcast bringing you the latest and greatest news from across the seven seas of Rye. My name's Chris Bolson.
And I'm Alison Hoare, and we remembered to introduce ourselves at the start this time.
For the first time in 30-something episodes, I forget, we've remembered to say our names.
That's pretty good achievement.
So it's Mardi Gras week in Australia this week. Mardi Gras in Australia is a queer pride parade. I know in America it's something different.
It's like Fat Tuesday.
Yeah, I've never quite understood what it is in America. In Australia, it's like a sick-ass parade where everybody wears nipple tassels and walks down the street and makes Alan Jones really angry. What are you doing to celebrate this beautiful occasion, Alison?
Well, can I be honest?
Yep.
Very little. Because That's how I need to... Well, actually, my problem is I have a lot of things on the weekend.
Yeah.
Like, tomorrow I have to teach a refugee class... And then on Sunday, my dad bought tickets to see some comedian who I don't know off the top of my head. So that's what I'm doing on Sunday, and that's too many things already. So
that is immediately
I will probably be enjoying the parade on live stream from my bed.
I really respect that, and I think that's an excellent choice.
How about you?
So... a friend of mine, about 6 months ago, and who's going to not be named for obvious reasons, starred in an adult film.
Okay,
and
sure.
It is a queer adult film. And so we were thinking we would do a Mardi Gras watch party of his queer adult film to celebrate.
Why not?
I can't think of a more appropriate time to watch my friend's porno.
Well...
So, like...
With a whole group of people who are going to be sitting there talking shit about it, sounds like the ideal situation.
Yeah, exactly. I never thought I'd watch one of my friends orgasm, but I guess it's just what's going to happen in my life. And
well, it's acting.
It's acting, and it's
acting.
Just like there's going to be dips and there'll be chips. And dips, chips, and nip slips.
Well, if you get incredibly uncomfortable, you can just continue eating the chips. A lot of chips.
What I was going to do is grab the bowl of chips and just, like, hold it up to my face and just stare deeply into the bowl of chips.
Yeah, stare so deeply into every Dorito that you can see the actual grains of flavour. And you'll notice that it's not just orange. There's deep reds in there, and there's a few different, like, yellow specks.
Okay, but Alison, you've got to understand that whilst I'm doing this, there will be, like, loud sounds of four men moaning over the sound system through the subwoofer. And, like, that's going to be a different... It's a tonal thing.
But this is what you do, right? If you want to get that sound, you just, like, get a chip and you chew it and you focus on this crunch of the chip in your mouth.
Okay, so I try and, like, overpower the moaning sex noises with my own mouth sounds.
With crunchy chip sounds. You know, like when you're in the theatre, in the theatre. You know when you're in the theatre and you're seeing a show and you're acutely aware of how loud and crunchy your popcorn and chips are.
Yeah.
Because when like a quiet scene in the movie happens and it's like a drama movie and you're like...
Can I suggest that I think for this this film experience, what we should do is turn the sound pretty much completely off, or so that it's like extremely quiet, but then institute a no talking rule and make everybody eat like really loud food.
Everyone will be profoundly uncomfortable.
So watch this sensual experience playing out on screen while you just hear like...
Somebody
doing
can give
like live Foley effects.
But you know, because you know your friend who starred in this film as an actor, he could give like a director's commentary about like the making of.
Oh, I fully expect that to happen.
If that doesn't happen, that's
basically that's pretty much the point of this whole occasion. I think.
Sure,
I want to hear the behind the scenes
director's
tidbits.
Commentary.
Well, I've never participated in one of these particular types of films, so I'm very curious.
Which films have you participated in?
In high school, I helped produce a couple of films for classes. I did the sound for an animated film. I've done some student film sound work, so I've participated in those films. But none of them have ever been a pornographic endeavour, so I don't know what goes on the behind the scenes of those.
Everything I know about pornographic endeavours I learnt from the Louis Theroux episode where he goes into the world of pornos. And he actually appears in a porno.
Oh, fun.
As a non-sex actor who comes in
okay, because that was going to be my next question was, did he get all of his friends to watch his video?
Well, his part in the film that he stars in, that he appears in, I should say, was like a gay porno, where in the canon of the movie, there's an avalanche and they get trapped in the house. And Louis Theroux's character is the inspector who comes to tell them there's an avalanche and they can't leave their house. But
that must be really fun, I think, to be like a supporting cast member in a pornographic film.
Yeah,
because you'd really want to
walk-on supporting cast member.
You'd really want to commit to the role. Like,
sure.
You'd want to find, like, the character's backstory. Like, you know that meme of the woman who's, like, not in front of my salad? Like that?
Yeah, like, she really committed, didn't she?
Right? And she wasn't even, in it, where she was just, like, she just needed to get that emotion across with such an extreme level.
Because at that stage, if you're a supporting actor in a porn movie, I'm guessing you're pretty not doing very well in your acting career. So you're trying to really prove your acting chops so that you've got something really good to put on your, like, your show reel.
How wild would it be if you were like a major Hollywood star and you were just like, I really want to diversify my resume, and like you, Ryan Reynolds, were just like, I'm going to take the part as the woman who gets annoyed about the salad.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to be the man who comes to tell the people in the building that there's an avalanche and they can't leave the building.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, that is George Clooney.
Yeah, it's
George Clooney. You've got George Clooney in your porno. You don't get to see George Clooney participate in it.
Of course not, because
he is there.
He's there. He's present, and that's, and he's in the front of the box.
He's in the room just kind of like sipping his coffee while the rest of it's going on, and he's just like reading a magazine.
He doesn't want to be in the room when that scene's being filmed, so it's like awkwardly like green screened in.
See,
George Clooney sitting in the background sipping his Nespresso coffee.
I don't think George Clooney would give a shit, because I'm just going to assume that these Hollywood types have seen some shit. So I think he'd just be like reading a magazine, just being like, "Oh, that? Yeah, okay, yeah, that's like a Tuesday." So like, I think he'd be cool.
Maybe, but he's got a very successful wife who he seems very happy with. So I don't know. I guess it depends on on how she feels about it, and well, as long as he gets his Nespresso in, he's happy. The contract's fulfilled.
That's what he gets paid in now. It's just Nespressos.
Yeah, Nespresso capsules.
He gets paid in pods. Do you have a story to start us off?
Well, I did mention last week that I had a story or stories that I did want to get to last week, but I wasn't able to due to the sheer amount of excellent quality content that we had last week that you'll have to go back and listen to if you are listening to this one.
I think most people probably have, if we're being honest, Alice.
Well, to be fair, I don't think we're getting any fresh listeners on this one. The people know what we're all about by this stage.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about UFOs?
Excellent.
Good.
Just generally good about them, and really excited about getting to one day meet our new overlords.
Now, can I be honest about the stories that I've got this week? All of them are from the Gold Coast Bulletin.
Like literally all of them?
Literally all of them.
Whoa.
Not on purpose. Not on purpose. I was just doing a lot of searching. And somehow all of the stories I've got are Gold Coast stories. So I guess this is a Gold Coast special from my end.
All right, Queensland special. It's really cool that in Gay Week you've decided to just go up to Queensland.
The shittest state.
Yep. Oh well, we
the state that birthed George Christensen is where I bring you the stories from this week.
Alas, what can we do? Please continue.
So yeah, we're getting into UFOs right away because why not? So this is a story from the 14th of February. You will notice it is from Valentine's Day. Ooh. So this is my idea of romance, really. So it says, UFO sighting, Gold Coast. Man claims he spotted a UFO on Tweed Coast. Okay. So essentially the news story is that a man claims he spotted a UFO. I feel like that's not really news because a lot of the time there are people who claim they have spotted a UFO, but let's get into the sighting,
there's a lot of UFOs out there.
There sure are, yeah. Have you seen a UFO?
I mean, not recently.
I've seen, like, an object that's flying that I couldn't identify.
I have also seen a few of those, and people keep being like, Chris, that's a news helicopter. What the fuck are you talking about? And I don't like that negative Nancy attitude. And they really ruin my picnic experience.
Just in every picnic, you're out there, like, spotting UFOs.
Yeah,
Sounds
I'm like,
my
what's
kind of
that
life.
object flying through the sky? And they're like, it's a plane. And I'm like, could you just fuck off and let me
Could
have
you
this
just
for like
get
1
out of
second?
here? Like, you're supposed to say,
You're
is
ruining
it a
the
bird?
magic.
Or is it a plane? No, it's a fucking UFO.
No, it's a man in tights flying through the sky.
Which is profoundly horrifying. So stories about unexplained phenomenon have been surfacing around the Gold Coast as people claim to have witnessed X-Files style sightings of UFOs, yowies, bunyips and paranormal activity.
Was it at the Gold Coast that the man did... Was it at the Gold Coast that the man had sex with the yowie?
Yeah, that was the yowie trucker who drew the very sensual yowie.
That does sound on brand,
Was a Gold Coast story. Yeah, and this is very on brand. And you'll be happy to know that the Yowie sketch does appear in this story as well. The sketch is there. Not the one where his crack is shown, but the one where his face is, and you see the intense brooding in his eyes.
The beautiful, seductive eyes.
Yeah. Anyway, but this isn't really about him. This is about a man seeing a UFO. So let's get into it. So... The man himself is an angler, and it says, an angler says he captured images on his phone of an unidentified flying object that was travelling too quickly to be a plane or a helicopter. Benora Point local David Walsh was fishing with his brother-in-law about 3 a.m. on Sunday, February the 3rd, off Kennedy Drive in West Tweed, when he spotted something flickering in the sky. Okay, so first of all, what kind of maniac goes fishing at 3 a.m.? Because that's very early. Or that's either very early or very late.
You are asking for... Firstly, you're asking to get Wolf Creeked if you do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Secondly, I can't imagine... The problem is that fishing is maybe the most boring sport that exists.
I would say that's definitely, certainly true.
Yeah, so I don't see how you could remain awake and do that. One of my friends has recently started doing the online dating Bumble thing, and she found a guy who in his profile, he said that he was really into golf and he was really into cricket, and I was like, wow, okay.
The only thing worse you could put there is fishing.
It's like you've listed two of the most boring ones. Good job.
Do you ever really wish you could like fishing? It just sounds like a very nice activity.
It seems so meditative. I love. I like meditating, but I don't like meditative activities. You know,
it's like when you. It's one of those activities, right? Which seems like it would be a nice thing. You know, you're out on the boat on a water with your mates and some drinks, and maybe in the end you'll be able to have a nice fish to put on the barbecue to, finish off the day. But none of that is true.
No.
Because you get the salty air on your skin and it'll make you kind of itchy, and then you're getting sunburnt, so you need to reapply sunscreen a bunch of times, and your hands are covered in sand and sunscreen, and then the rod is really slippery and it's slipping out of your hands. And
you can't even relax because you're waiting this whole time. You have to be alert just in case a fish bites the thing. And on a related note, I don't want to kill my food myself. I want to pay someone else to kill it for me so I don't have to think about it.
Now, the other problem I have is that if you have a can of beverage, it's really hard to open your can with one hand while you're holding the fishing rod in the other. So, it's just a whole process.
Oh, no, you just got to use your teeth. You just got to really jam those beverages under. You joke, Alison. I've 100% done that more than once in my life. But I'm a disgusting animal, so...
Sure. Well, that's the difference between you and I.
Yeah,
I'm a majestic animal. I'm a glorious rhinoceros,
Whereas I'm basking. I'm like a small hippo covered in mud, just rolling around in
a pygmy hippo. Very cute.
I'll take it.
So anyway, David is fishing at 3 a.m., which I think is the weirdest thing. I think that's really the news lead that they should have gone with. Maniac goes fishing at 3 a.m. But he'd taken out his phone and he started to film this object. And then he noticed it quickly darting around and disappearing. It was a very clear night. There was nothing in the sky, Mr. Walsh said. It wasn't a plane or helicopter. It was going too fast. Although I should say, I corrected that sentence. It says, it wasn't a plane of helicopter. It was going too fast.
No, I think that he meant a plane of helicopter. Like, he can only... Okay, so here's my thinking about this.
Sure.
At night, you lose your depth perception, yes?
Okay, right.
So everything's two-dimensional to him. So I think he literally meant a two-dimensional plane of helicopter.
Well, that's true. He lost the third plane of existence.
Secondly, what it was a firefly about a metre away from his face.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like at 3 a.m, anything I look at is kind of like a UFO. You know when you're laying in bed awake at night and you see, like, I don't know, your coat hanging on the door and it looks profoundly like a serial killer standing in the corner of your room?
That's the Babadook, Alison. He's there to get you. He's gonna Babadook Dook Dook you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, exactly. Everything. So, you know, if it was literally just...
I've just come up with a great prank.
Oh.
What I'm going to do is get a top hat and a coat, and I'm going to hang it on the inside of my bedroom door. And if I ever have someone, like, spend the night, they're going to be in for a very uncomfortable shock when they wake up and see the Babadook on my bedroom door.
Well, that's really nice. I hope that whoever you're pranking with that doesn't listen to this and find out first.
That is true. Yeah, that would kind of ruin it.
So, he sent this to the Gold Coast Bulletin, as you do when you first receive I just got a message from my sister. Want to come 10-pin bowling tomorrow with Emily after lunch? Okay.
Tell her that unfortunately you can't because the aliens have taken you.
Well, exactly.
Actually, no, say, I'm sorry, I can't. I have to go to bed early because I have to get up for fishing at 3 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, sorry, I've got fishing at 3 a.m. Also, follow-up point, what kind of maniac goes 10-pin bowling for fun?
I like bowling.
I like bowling in principle, but I don't like waiting around for like a million years for your turn, whilst like people who are really serious about it are trying to like line up their shot perfectly.
Oh, okay, well that's your mistake. Just don't do it with people who are serious about it.
Yeah, just go and like chuck the ball down the alley and like slip over. Yeah, all that kind of fun stuff.
You want to see how many bruises you can get.
Yeah, exactly. See, because my bowling channels look like the train tracks. You know, it's like 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. It's really good. You know, that's fine. But, yeah. So we're getting back to this story now. So he sent the video to the Gold Coast Bulletin, as you do. The first thing you do when you see an alien, you send it to
the Gold Coast Bulletin.
Gold Coast Bulletin. And they sent it to UFO Research Queensland for evaluation.
That's not a company.
So UFO Research Queensland President Cheryl Gottschall said it was hard to determine...
Also, that's not a real name, Cheryl.
Cheryl Gottschall.
Her real name is like Cheryl Leibowitz or something like that. Yeah, Gottschall sounds so made up to me.
Gottschall said it was hard to determine if the flying object in the video was an alien spaceship.
Oh.
I mean, it's too difficult to tell what it is because there's nothing in the frame to reference to it, she said. If it was lined up next to a house or tree, it would be clearer to see how it was moving and how fast.
He should have just like held one of his hands up in the frame and be like...
But it's like literally from this explanation, it could have been a fly in front of his face.
You know how modern or a lot of new phones have like 2 cameras and you can do like videos with like depth information? I think that's really going to revolutionize
nice UFO spotting.
UFO spottings.
Yeah.
Also, I have an anecdote, which is that when I was in high school, I did something called the Hawkesbury Canoe Classic. Which is a 111-kilometre overnight kayaking race.
Oh my god, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is. I don't recommend it. So you start at like 4 in the afternoon and you finish at like 8 in the morning. And I gotta say, by about 3 a.m, I was seeing some pretty wild shit. Like
you do see a lot of wild stuff.
Like I saw people skateboarding across the top of the water. So like,
okay.
I think my point is that like. At 3 a.m, your mind is not your own.
No, you're in a different plane of existence.
You're in the sunken place at 3 a.m.
Sure, and nothing that you see or do at 3 a.m.
It doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count. If you see an alien at 3 a.m, it doesn't count.
It doesn't count legally. 3 a.m. is basically international waters.
Yeah. I would say between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m, that 2-hour block there. Time does not exist.
We just don't... That's the purge time. Like, we just don't... we don't talk about that time.
Yeah.
Ever.
Because sometimes you might be out late until like 2 a.m. and then you go home and then you go to bed. I don't know of anyone who is willingly out at 3 a.m.
Like, yeah, no, that's definitely correct.
And, like, most early jobs start at, like, 5 a.m., I would say. You know, like, street sweeping and all of that kind of stuff starts to kick off around then.
You know how, like, sometimes you wake up at 2 a.m. and you're like, oh, this is annoying, but I'll go back to sleep. And sometimes you wake up at, like, 5:30 and you're like, well, I guess I'll just get up. But if you wake up at 4 a.m., you're like, I gotta get my fucking baseball bat, because, like... The ghoulies are going to come
The
for me.
ghouls are coming at me.
Because it's the nothing time. It says, I don't exist right now. Time is not. It's not even like, when am I? It's am I?
Am I?
Am I?
Am I?
Just be fucking careful at 4 a.m., guys. It's really dangerous.
It's just, it doesn't exist. So this story basically just goes into now talking about the Yowie story. Because the UFO researcher says, oh yeah, people have been seeing a Yowie. And then the last bit at the end, just throwing a wild curveball here as well, it says, paranormal investigators also claim to have evidence of ghosts in the Ernest Junction Tunnel, which is believed to be haunted since its closure as a railway tunnel in 1964. So...
Is it the ghost of a train? Like, did someone get murdered there or something? Like,
I would say the ghost of a Yowie.
That's a scary concept. I've literally never thought of a ghost of a supernatural creature before. Can you imagine how fucking scary a werewolf ghost would be, or a vampire ghost would be?
Well, it surely must exist.
Definitely.
Now, there's a follow-up story to this, because I'm sure you're interested in what the follow-up to this was. And this is 5 days later, because the Gold Coast Bulletin, it doesn't move with, like, major news time, you know? It moves in its own time.
Moves in Gold Coast time.
Yeah, it moves in Gold Coast time. And it says Gold Coast UFO sightings. 2 Gold Coasters explain what the UFO was in the sky at Kennedy Drive. Get out the tinfoil hats. 2 Gold Coasters believe that they have answers to the recent UFO sightings in Tweed Heads West. Last week, David Walsh sent the Gold Coast Bulletin a photo and video of an object he claims he saw while fishing off Kennedy Drive at about 3 a.m. on Sunday, February 3. So they are focusing on the 3 a.m. thing, which I feel is important.
I respect that. It's an important detail in terms of the story's believability.
Now, another man has now come forward saying he saw the same object early that morning.
Oh, shit.
Oh, crap. Now, my favourite thing is this story. So at this point, right, you're like, who is this person that's seen this UFO as well? It says Ken Duke, 72, says he has seen UFOs in his Tweed's Head's backyard for about 54 years and sees the flying saucer at least once a month. I was out taking my dog for a pee and I saw the same thing, he said. Why is he taking his dog to piss at 3 a.m. in the morning, Chris?
Again, Ken, you shouldn't be outside at 3 a.m. in the morning. It's not safe.
You deserve to be punished for making your dog wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning. Come on.
If the aliens are going to come at any time, it is going to be that, like, in the nothing time.
Yeah,
so, like,
of course.
Ken, frankly, you deserve whatever happens to you because you've made a really irresponsible choice.
My favourite thing about this article, this follow-up article, is there's literally just, like, a badly rendered cartoon version of, like, a UFO with the caption, "The truth is out there." And that's...
Oh, gosh.
the heading picture for this bloody article.
I would have just put a picture of David Duchovny. Like, I just would have a picture
of... Yeah, why not? If this was Junkie, that's what it would have.
Exactly. It'd just be, like, his beautiful, at this point, kind of old face. And...
Now, yeah, I can't say personally that I am... You know, someone who's saying they've seen UFOs for the past 55 years... I would take what he says with a grain of salt, you know?
I don't know how reliable a source he is, but at the same time, like, they want us to think that.
Sure,
so
absolutely.
I just don't know. I'm very conflicted about this.
So it says here that this UFO that he always sees, oh my gosh. So I came inside and looked out my window to the east and I saw the mothership. So that's why he knew it was... you know, the UFO that he always sees, because he saw the mothership.
Yeah.
And he says, it flies between Fingal and Point Danger. It's this big silver dome-like ship with white lights. There were 2 that night. One was the mothership. Of course it was, Chris. of course.
How would he know it was the mothership?
It could have been the fathership. Or the non-binary parent
Alison,
ship.
can we call it the daddy ship, please?
The daddy ship.
The daddy ship is a far superior name to the
Or,
fathership.
as I said, the non-binary parent ship. We can't...
That's true. The non-gender conforming individual ship.
We can't presume the gender identity of the aliens on board that spaceship.
That's true.
It's just not fair.
They're all glop gendered. And
Yeah, well, exactly. We don't have that in our culture, in our human culture.
They exist outside of time. They really could not give a fuck,
they exist within... They are out at 3 a.m. So basically, they're maniacs. So that's Mr. Duke, who said he saw his first UFO in 1965 when he was driving with his mate towards Murwillumbah. Australian place names are a tongue twister.
Here's my question. Or
Sure.
two questions. One,
fair enough.
I was originally thinking, like, why would the aliens focus on Mr. Duke? And then I thought that if there is, like, a race of intergalactic beings who exist outside of time, like, I can't imagine what they would want to do that's productive. So I could very much see there being a few of them who did, like, legit just get a lot of joy out of fucking with this one guy.
Oh, yeah, it's like trolling, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know... If you, I'm sure you recall this, having been in the advanced audiovisual journalism class with me, is I did go to a UFO meeting one day.
You did.
That was as part of my assignment. And if you want to check out that podcast that I produced one episode of for my assignment, you can go to my SoundCloud profile.
If Alison gets more than 1,000 listens, she has to make a second one.
Oh, sure. But there was one guy I spoke to at that alien meeting, who did say that he was abducted by an alien and that the alien changed his DNA so that he could read minds. But because he's a good bloke, he chooses not to read minds because it's against people's will.
Well, I mean, that's honestly
That's a kind of a really ethical way to use your mind-reading powers, buddy.
I relate to him, because I was once bitten by a radioactive bird, so I actually do have the ability to, like, levitate, but I choose not to, just because I think it would make people uncomfortable, and frankly,
yeah, exactly.
I don't
you don't want to scare people who are just going about their day.
I don't, and I don't trust these fucking cops not to shoot me down. Like, I just don't...
It's like a UFO.
Exactly. Like, I will be a literal UFO, and I fear for my safety.
Sure. But the other thing, my favourite thing about this conversation with this guy was, he was talking, because like a whole bunch of the UFO friends were, you know, in a circle and we're all chatting. Well, all of them were chatting and I was kind of like awkwardly listening in, recording this conversation. But at one stage, you know, he was saying about how all of these aliens always come up to his backyard and always come into his house to visit him for a cup of tea. And then someone was like, oh, have you ever thought about taking a photo? And then one of the other people, he said, oh, no, I wouldn't want to do that. And then one of the other people said, or if you took a photo of the alien, it wouldn't show up on camera anyway. You know,
they
giving
vampires?
Well, I assume so. Vampire aliens, of course.
I suppose they do exist outside of space-time, so, like, I get...
Yeah, exactly.
I can't comprehend how they can drink tea. But
well, of course they can. But my favourite thing about this whole situation is he said he didn't take photos, but then someone said, well, if you did take a photo, it wouldn't show up on camera anyway. And then he was like, oh, no, yeah, I have taken photos.
But you just can't see them. I deleted them.
They're at my mum's house, you know. They're just somewhere else. Anyway, so then it gets into the story that we're actually looking at, gets into the other, you know, lame-ass basic description, which is an even more crudely rendered drawing of a UFO here. Anyway, so it says astronomer John Crane, or more like normie John Crane, who lives on the Gold Coast hinterlands, believes the sighting was a different type of spacecraft. I have a suspicion it was the International Space Station, he said, like a bloody normie.
What a fucking idiot.
We see it on a regular basis.
What a baby.
What an idiot.
Well, I mean, firstly, the International Space Station's not real. Everybody knows that that's a NASA
knows that
conspiracy.
NASA doesn't exist.
What a fool. Oh my god.
Well, he says he has grandkids as well. Like, come on.
No one has grandkids. People
grandkids.
Everyone gets... No one's, like... that's not what happens. When you have your child, your parent dies. Like, that's the law of the universe.
Yeah, it's just like, come on, is he believable? Is he trustworthy?
That's why
He's got grandkids.
why I haven't had kids yet is because I like my parents and I want to give them more time before I kill them to absorb their energy and have children of my own.
And do you know what? The police have even made a statement here, Chris, and they said, hang on, this is my favourite sentence because of the way it's written. Police said it had not received reports of unidentified objects.
Police
said it had not received reports of unidentified objects in the sky that night.
So police is we're getting really metaphysical this episode.
Police said it had not.
I think police has to be some sort of object that isn't like it has the spirit of all of the police force, but it exists outside of them. So like it is.
It's capital P police at the start of the sentence.
I think it's just a floating police hat that like has absorbed all of the essence of the police officers. That's what happens when you graduate from Police Academy 4.
Oh, God.
Is you get absorbed into the hat and then they give you like a little bit of your soul back, but the hat keeps most of it, and that is police.
I think sometimes when I'm reading news articles, I don't realise how poorly written some of them are until I try and like actually read it closely and I'm not just skimming it. Because when you get to a part where it says, police said it had not received reports, you're like, what the fuck is this sentence? This isn't grammar.
Okay. Because they identify police as an it, which means it can't be human, because human is like he, her, or they. Like, they're the real options. It implies it's either an object or an animal.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Just because it would be
Or a concept.
Or a concept. Because it would be rude to refer to a person as an it, and I don't think that the Gold Coast Bulletin would do that. So it's got to be so this is a conceptual being. Which I think is appropriate, because I think only a conceptual being could write about these aliens, because they, again, exist outside of space-time.
Do you have a non-alien story?
We do. We've been talking about this one for about half an hour.
Yeah, it's too long. We got to get into a new story. Sorry.
So this is a story from stuff.co.nz, which, like the Gold Coast Bulletin for you, has become my pretty much exclusive source of news.
Only for this week.
Only for this.
My Gold Coast stories.
I've got other stuff. So this is the world's worst airline slogans. This is a listicle, but I like it a lot.
Oh no, okay.
Some airline slogans are bona fide classics. British Airways with the world's favourite airline. Qantas with the spirit of Australia, for example.
Yeah, but I feel like they're very, like... It's a bold claim to say the world's favourite airline. Have you done a poll?
I think that like, it shows confidence.
Well, sure,
which you want from a brand.
So when I'm applying for a job, I'm going to say the world's favourite girl.
That's extremely good, actually, and I think you should do that. That should be on your resume. Alison or the world's favourite girl.
My new Twitter description: world's favourite girl.
Best girl in world. Official.
Yeah, true. Anyway, you can continue with this story.
I'm the Forbes best girl in world. So, first one on this list is from Tajik Air, and their tagline is National Airline of Tajikistan.
Okay, well that's very to the point.
It does exactly what it says on the box, which I like about it.
It's saying, well, it's the national airline. I've got lots more information from that name. Thank you.
Exactly. I'm not going to read out all of the editorializing, because frankly it's not as funny as it thinks it is. But I like that. I feel like we can do better. We can make
our own comedy. If you want to hire us, stuff.co.nz, let me know.
If you want us to touch up your listicles, just like...
Yeah, no worries. Give me a call.
I'll accept money for that.
Yeah.
So Lion Air, their slogan is, "We make you fly." Which...
It sounds a little ominous, if I'm honest.
It does. I feel like I'm about to get thrown out of an ejector seat of a car. Or I'm in like a trebuchet.
Right. Or you're in a high-stakes office building, and you're like right in the top floor in the boardroom, and like some mafiosos have come in, and they said, "Make him fly, boys."
Oh, no.
And then you feel like you're going to be thrown out the window by the mafia.
When I hear that I'm flying through the air, I don't think of myself as like cocooned inside of a metal bird. I think of myself as like free as a bird and imminently about to die.
Yeah, right, exactly. Because you've angered the mafia.
The next one is from Malindo Air. Smarter way to stay high. So they're having a little bit of fun with that
that's
one.
fun. It's like an e-cigarette kind of deal.
I think that it's just it's an odd marketing tactic from my perspective. Because I don't know how much air mile time potheads get. And
I don't think they're getting a lot, if I'm honest.
No. And I feel like if I'm a pothead, just based on the stereotype alone, I'm probably going to try and fly just on the cheap. So
I'm going to try and fly out the window without.
Yeah, I'm going to get blazed before I go on the plane, so I won't even have to think about my flight experience. So I'm not going to pay Malindo Air for their fancy...
Where is Malindo Air even from? They should be giving a better description, National Airline of Tajikistan.
They are a Malaysian/Indonesian airline,
okay.
And I believe they are not entirely aware of the double meaning.
Well, I would probably imagine so if that's what the countries are from, because I don't think drug jokes go down too well in those countries.
No. So this is my favourite one from Yeti Airlines.
Yeti Airlines! It's in Nepal!
It is, and the tagline is "You come."
I went on Yeti Airlines. What a great airline!
Alison, the tagline for Yeti Airlines is "You come first."
Well, I mean, it relates to our Yowie.
I feel like I don't need to explain.
The Yeti and the Yowie are very closely related.
They're very generous, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I think that we can just all take that something away, and I don't need to...
Yeah, you know what? We don't need to explain that one too much.
Now, Adria Airways has a tagline that I think is kind of on brand with some of the places we went in that alien story, which is taking off to the future.
Sure.
So they have DeLorean aeroplanes.
Do that but perhaps they only go the direction that would mean that you're skipping an entire day in the time zone.
Oh, so you can't come. Interesting.
So you can only fly back from America to Australia.
Okay, so now I'm not a physicist. So how do they get the planes back? Or do they destroy the plane, build a new one in America?
Yes.
So they can say we've only ever travelled into the future.
Well, Chris, you know the Earth is flat. So...
Oh, that's true, yeah.
So the plane... I don't know how time zones work
in
the flat Earth,
take it out to the ice wall, then they just put it on the big conveyor belt and bring it around. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do time zones work in the flat Earth?
It's a really good question, Alison.
If you're a flat earther and you're listening to this, can you please explain how time zones work in the flat Earth?
I know that time is a flat circle, so I think that maybe the flat Earth plane and the time plane are they just exist at the same space.
Sure.
And I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just going to shut up.
Yeah, let's continue with the story.
Syrian Air means safety, which I just don't know if that one's super timely.
That's a little bit that's not great at the moment for them.
Druk Air, on the wings of the dragon.
Druk Air.
Now, the problem with
that sounds sick, though.
It does sound sick. Can I say though, if you're on an aeroplane and fire starts coming out of it, it's not ideal.
Yeah, but you know what? If you've made that your slogan and there's fire coming out of your airplane,
if one of the engines explodes and everyone's ooh, the special effects are so good.
Yeah, people aren't going to be too angry. That's what the experience they're going to expect is.
The next one is SpiceJet, which exists.
Mm-hmm.
The headline is red, full stop. Hot, full stop. Spicy, no full stop.
I like it. That's cool. That's fun.
It sort of, to me, signifies that you're going to have, it's going to be an interesting flight no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know that they have, all the food on the plane is spicy. They have no refreshments.
Big problem.
They have lukewarm water and nothing else, which will do nothing for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So the next one is LOT Polish Airlines. You choose the direction.
Okay.
This is we believe that
sure.
like Woolworths, where we're getting the customers to do our jobs for you. for us.
Yeah, exactly.
We're getting you to fly the plane for us. Good luck.
We're getting you to navigate the plane for us, not just fly it.
Air Europe. And this one's kind of sad. It's just, you still have a choice.
You don't have to fly with us if you don't want to.
You can just think about it, okay? What's most important to me, Air Europe, is what's most important for you. And I want you to feel okay.
Yeah, I just want you to, feel happy with this decision that you've made to fly with us. But, you've still got a choice. If you don't want to fly with us this time, we won't be offended. We might be a little bit disappointed, but we're not really going to hold it against you, so...
I'm going to finish on Continental Air, which is...
Okay.
We really move our tails for you. Mm-hmm. So I guess they just, shake that dirty thing in the sky.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
Do you have any other stories that aren't about aeroplanes or aliens or things that exist outside of space-time?
No, but my sister just sent me another message telling me that our other sister taught our father how to floss and also dab. And I just really want to disown my family.
Alison, I'm
my
afraid
entire
that
family.
you are going to have to cull.
My whole family.
So here's what's going to happen. So I need you to find your dad and kill him.
Yeah.
I need you to... So was it Rebecca that texted you this?
Yeah.
All right, she's in the next room. Deal with her first.
No, she's not. She's in the city with my dad and my sister. So I could recruit her to kill them.
Then you're going to have to kill her.
And then I will kill her when she comes back.
Then you kill yourself. I'll kill myself after this because I've heard it. I've been exposed.
Yeah, you know this. You know what's happening.
To the audio pathogen.
Yeah.
We can never publish this podcast episode.
No. I feel sick.
This is the last episode of The Red Menace, everybody. I'm so sorry for what is about to happen, but we've been infected by an old white man flossing, and it's maybe the most dangerous and painful thing that can exist.
Awful. But I do have another story here.
The way to kill him, Alison, is to give him dental floss and say, "Do it with this," and that'll solve the problem for you.
Oh, dear.
That's how I want you to kill your dad. All right, yes, please tell me your story.
Now, I'm not sure if this is really funny in hindsight, but it's about cults, and I like cults, so I'm going to chuck it in.
All right.
Because why not? And it's also from the Gold Coast Bulletin. If this is any indication of what the Gold Coast is for listeners out there who haven't been there, it's very true. Whatever picture of the Gold Coast you're forming.
It's basically
from these stories.
It's like the Florida of Australia, I think. Yeah, is probably
exactly.
The best.
Yeah, for sure. So if your only exposure to the Gold Coast is knowing that a lot of people see yowies and UFOs there, and that there's also a cult there, that's probably exactly correct.
Yeah.
So it says Gold Coast cult, universal medicine leader message promoted by behavioural clinic Fabic through Tanya Curtis. There's a lot of words there.
Yeah,
There's a lot of words
I'm
there.
not going to lie, I checked out of that one pretty quick. Smart.
Me too. It wasn't a very good... Just say Gold Coast cult full stop and then I'll read it.
Yeah.
That's all you need. So it says Gold Coast parents are in shock after discovering a controversial cult leader was the inspiration for programs and children's books sold to them by taxpayer-funded National Disability Insurance Scheme provider.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
Oh my god.
Oh no. This is like the equivalent of, selling a Scientology Dianetics book through that.
You done goofed it, government.
Yeah. In a series of books authored by Gold Coast behavioural specialist Tanya Curtis, she gives credit as inspiration for work to Sergei Benhayon, the leader of Universal Medicine, Unimed, determined by New South Wales Supreme Court jury to be a socially harmful cult.
Tanya.
Not great. Tanya, what are you doing?
Can you just... Tanya, you're supposed to be a professional.
Yeah. But no. She's big into Unimed.
This is how they infiltrate us. Through Tanya.
Through Tanya. Miss Curtis operates her clinic, Fabic Proprietary Pty Ltd, Pity Littered. Fabic Pity Littered. At... When I was a kid, I always read that as Pity Littered. But Fabic Pity Littered at Carrara, and regularly promotes Universal Medicine's teachings, meetings, and workshops on the business website. It sounds like a cult.
It does sound a lot like a cult. What are the tenets of this cult? Do we know?
Of Universal Medicine?
Yeah. Like what kind of like subculture are they?
Well, I believe they're kind of like Scientology-esque in that it's kind of a scientific situation. But here we go. Here's on Wikipedia. Well, the guy who founded it was a bankrupt tennis coach from Maroubra who has no medical qualifications, which is a really good...
That's an aesthetic I can get behind.
Yeah.
That's someone I could see myself, like... I feel like I'd see them once every 2 months for drinks, and, like, that would be enough.
Right.
But it would be fun, though. It would be very fun. It would be.
He would be down, like, the gutter, you know. He'd be doing a lot of weird things, a lot of weird jobs.
You'd have to call him an Uber or two. You'd probably have to tuck him in once or twice.
It says the key tenements or the key treatments practiced by universal medicine are esoteric breast massage, esoteric healing, ovarian readings, chakra puncture, esoteric connective tissue therapy.
Chakra puncture?
That's
like acupuncture, but they go straight for your fucking chakras?
Yeah, that's a pretty cool pun. He came up with that himself.
Can I get chakra punctured and then have my ovaries read at the same time? Like,
well, you can get an esoteric ovary massage to go with your esoteric breast massage.
Hey, how are they esoteric?
Good question.
Does it make me confused? Does it... I don't want to be confused when I have my ovaries massaged. That's not ideal.
He really likes the word esoteric.
I don't think he knows what it means.
No, he just chuck that in. Esoteric breast massage. Esoteric ovarian massage.
Holy shit, esoteric breast massage is definitely the title of the episode. Thank you for that.
And we didn't even come up with that.
No, this is a gift that's been given to us.
That's a gift that's been blessed to us.
Fuck me, what is that? I don't care about the rest of the story. I want to break down what that means.
What esoteric breast massage means.
How do you do it? Is it like you come in from the side and you be a bit weird and creative about it? Is it like you do it...
But people are confused to be like, why are you touching me like that? That's very strange.
No, I think what it is, Alison, is that like you put your hand on one of the breasts and they get sensation in the other breast and they're like, what? I don't, but at the same time it's okay, and this is how they get people invested.
So this is what esoteric breast massage is. Fortunately, there's a whole section on the Wikipedia page.
Oh, good.
It says esoteric breast massage stated by the group to be administered only by women. Because if it's administered by men, it's not esoteric, I suppose. Because maybe it's supposed to make women feel sexually confused. I don't know.
Maybe.
Has been reportedly promoted to cure or prevent breast cancer by rekindling femaleness. This was described as irresponsible and dangerous and misleading.
Well, I mean, that's definitely what... everybody knows that cancer is something that happens when a part of your body feels too sure of itself.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you confuse, like... Sometimes, I worry sometimes that, like, maybe I'll get bowel cancer. So sometimes I just eat something really, like, nasty to confuse my...
Yeah, sure.
That's maybe the grossest, darkest joke I've ever made, and I'm sort of ashamed and proud of it at the same time.
That's quite, yeah. Anyway, that's very interesting. But, so basically the point is our government is paying money for a lady who promotes this esoteric breast massage cult.
It kind of just sounds like an excuse for her to feel people up, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. So it says, this woman, Fabic, sells a variety of products that have also been claimed to be that also have to be claimed through the National Disability Insurance Scheme.
Does it include, like, a bra where one cup is a bit too small just to really confuse one of the boobs?
Well, then you can, like, give yourself an esoteric breast massage when you're trying to, like, adjust your bra regularly.
It's a bra, but it just has, like, a little rock inside it. Just, like...
Yeah, it's just got a little bit of the underwire poking out. That's a very classic female experience.
They just sell slightly uncomfortable clothes.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have to, like, you're massaging yourself as you're trying to readjust it to make it comfortable. Because it will never be comfortable. You're always readjusting. They
sell underwear, but, like, one of the sides is a little bit scratchy. It's really esoteric.
So it says these posters, some of which include a quote from Ms. Curtis or Mr. Benyon, sell for $15 each or $275 for a full pack. The children's books for $15 each come with a dedication to Unimed. I don't think this has been an uncovered thing. I feel like this is just blatant.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't like a secret.
I think we just have a legit government-funded cult. I think that's what...
yeah. What I'm
getting at Queensland?
Here... Yeah.
What the shit?
What I'm getting at here is that this wasn't something that needed to be uncovered. This woman was like, I love esoteric breast massage openly all over her website. And then they're like, oh, maybe, how could we have known?
Maybe
How could we have known?
Let's be real, though. She managed to pull off this scam and write all these books. I'm going to assume whilst receiving esoteric breast massage.
Sure.
So, like, maybe it works.
Maybe it works.
Maybe I need to go and get myself an esoteric breast massage. Like, I think
I'd like an esoteric ovarian massage.
I think you're going to regret saying that.
I will regret saying that immediately.
I don't think there's any way that that's a good... Okay, I don't think you can have a non-esoteric ovarian massage. No. I think they're all a bit esoteric.
But all of them are esoteric, according to the list.
Any massage of a part of you that's inside you, I think is going to be a bit confusing no matter what.
Yeah, that is... Yeah.
Like, if you're like, I'm going to give you a liver massage, I'm like, well, that's going to confuse the shit out of me, and I don't...
Yeah, look... Personally, I don't think esoteric breast massage cures cancer. I'm throwing out that hot take.
I'd be surprised if it did.
On it. I'm mic dropping that, you know. Throwing down the truthisms here.
But I'll say this. I definitely think it keeps your boobs, like, you know, looking both ways when they cross the street. Keeps them a little bit on edge. And if you're into that, that's go, you know, see
fair enough.
Fucking Tanya's best friends.
I don't think you need to pay $15 to get an esoteric breast massage book for your kids, though.
I don't think so, no.
No. I think you'll be alright.
Like, tap out at $10.
Yeah. Exactly. Do you have another story? Or are we like...
I think we're at time.
Oh.
It's 55 minutes that we've been recording for.
Oh, jeez. Jesus, boy. Sorry, I've really, like, filled in the time with my stories here this week.
I appreciate it. I've had to do very little work. All I've had to do is, like, make jokes about esoteric breast massages, which, I gotta say, is not... it's not a challenge. They come fairly naturally.
Do you know, it's like, for me, I feel like he just discovered the word esoteric in the dictionary and really liked it, so he put it before all of his things.
But he didn't read the definition of it, is the problem.
He just flipped through and then, like, scrolled his finger down. He's like, esoteric. That's a cool word.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to our podcast. It's great fun to make it. Follow us on Twitter or Instagram at Red Menacecast. We also have a Facebook page if you're into that sort of thing.
We sure do.
And yeah, we post weird photoshops, and that's pretty much it. And links to the show.
Yeah, there's not much on there.
No. Someone who will not be named because they're me has been busy lately and hasn't had time to do a lot of work.
Well, someone who shall not be named because it's me also has done nothing for this, so I can't really blame you.
That's fair. To be honest, someone who was me, I feel like the podcast was more my original idea, so I've sort of taken ownership of it, and you're like along for the ride, which I appreciate.
Sure. I'm here to introduce you to esoteric breast massage.
And I really think I can't ask you for anything more than that.
Well, that's what I'm here for. I'm glad I can deliver what I'm, not being paid to deliver.
So I pay money for this show.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Neither of us are getting any money here. Before anyone thinks that this is like,
Can someone please sponsor us? I want to shill for something. I'll sell anything. I don't care what. I'll sell
esoteric breast massage.
I'll sell esoteric breast massage. I'll sell condoms shaped like dinosaurs. I don't care. Anyway.
Hit us up.
Here's the final headline.
This has had a really weird energy tonight.
This is from the West Australian. Perth gives Jamie Oliver food for thought.
Oh, fuck.
It's pretty basic.
That's very basic.
But, it gets the gist.
Nothing can beat the egg puns from last week.
No, that's true. I feel I'm going to have to come up with a new way to close the show, because I don't think I can ever top those puns.
No.
I'll just say, psych, you fools just listen to us talk shit for 55 minutes voluntarily and think about your life choices.
Yeah, definitely reconsider them.
No, don't. We love you. Thank you for listening, folks.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Ciao.